are at the Aesthetic Show Live news desk, where we're going to be doing some great interviews this morning with some of the top aesthetic surgeons throughout the country. And I have this morning one of my very good friends, Dr. Andrew Ordon.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
We've switched roles here. Usually I'm interviewing you on the doctors.
I know, it's unbelievable.
This is your audition. We're going to see how you do.
You know how you got on this. I was the one that actually gave them your name for this. How good is that?
I owe you an assist there. But you've always been great on the doctors. We always enjoy having you. You're cutting edge stuff. So let's take it away.
Well, you know, everybody wants to know about the history of the Aesthetic Show. Can you tell us? Because we know there's a long history there with you involved.
Well, there is. Who's counting? But I think it's like 8 years now that I'm the scientific chairman of the Aesthetic Show. And during that period of 8 years, I've seen it just grow and grow and grow. Obviously, it's a multidisciplinary type of meeting, which I like. Different specialties, but everybody has the same goal: to learn the newest in technology, techniques, tips, and trends. What I call the 4 T's.
It's true, and it's become super successful and popular because people from all over the country and world are coming here to learn the newest techniques from different surgeons of all different levels.
And you know, this meeting has a different flair to it than a lot of the other meetings, that it's not connected to a society per se. The dermatological societies or the plastic surgery societies, it's a meeting unto itself, bringing people from different disciplines, and I think that's what sets it apart.
Was that your original reasoning for this setup?
Well, you know, they had already set it up. It was like that. They brought me in as the plastic surgeon to add that twist, and sort of just to tie it all in together as the aesthetic or the scientific chairman.
How do you think this has evolved over time?
Oh, it's just growing, getting bigger and better and more complete, more thorough, better attendance, more exhibits. I mean, in every facet, we've sort of found a home away from home here at the Wynn now. I think it's 4 or 5 years. So I always look forward to coming back to the Wynn. Very comfortable, and they take good care of us.
What was the first meeting like?
You know, if I can think back there were still some things, some kinks that were being worked out, and it just wasn't as thorough. I mean, some of the original players that are still coming, some of the specialists that have always been a part of this group, were there, and they're sort of the forefathers, the pioneers, so to speak, of the Aesthetic Show. They're still here. They make it what it is.
That's great
today.
What do you think people come to the Aesthetic Show for the most? What are they looking for? The glitz and the glam, like you talked about, some of the celebrity.
Well, that's part of this show, is that we try to touch on that, the glitz and the glamour, that aspect of aesthetic surgery and aesthetic medicine. But you know, as I said, just the latest technology, and my lecture in a few minutes in the welcome session is keeping up with the competition. It's a seasoned veteran like me trying to keep up with the up and coming guys like yourself. And I'm going to touch on that. You know, I've been doing this 33 years. It changes all the time. I mean, back in the days, I'd run Yellow Pages ads and do that.
Crazy.
That doesn't work anymore. So, you know, touching on that, it changes all the time. And what we need to do as committed physicians, practitioners in aesthetic medicine, what we need to do to keep up with the trends and keep up with the competition.
What do you think the other doctors and consumers are looking for now? Are they looking for the same things they did 10, 20 years ago, or has it just changed the way in which we give that to them, or are they looking for something new?
Well, I think people have always looked for the same thing. They want to look better because when they look better, they feel better, but it's just gotten so much more elaborate. There's so many different options, so many different steps that you can take as part of that journey. It's gotten a lot more complex. So we here at this meeting, next few days, we're going to address each one of those components.
Yeah, that's great. And that's, I'm sure, what you were talking about, keeping up with the competition. Nowadays, everyone can see everything.
Can we do a selfie now?
I would love to do a selfie. Make sure you tag us.
That'll come later.
Make sure you Insta tag us. Make sure you hashtag us, because that's what's happening nowadays. People can see things instantly. They want to see results. They want to hear what the newest trend is, and if it's not through their scroll, it's past them.
Exactly, and that's the way they're checking you out. Is this guy legit? What kind of results is he getting? Are his patients happy? And I'm going to touch on that during my session, keeping up with the competition. That you have to be social media aware and optimize and use that and use that internet and all those things.
There's no more yellow. I don't even think people know what the Yellow Pages is anymore.
No, it worked for me back then.
No, I'm sure it did.
I mean, those Yellow Pages worked. I mean, I always tried to keep up with the competition, and how I did that, I tried different things, print and radio and things like that. And in my Palm Springs office, we actually do a billboard, which works in that market. I mean, different things work in different markets. I wouldn't do a billboard in LA. I hear somebody just recently put one up on Sunset, plastic surgeon. Yeah. I have no clue how much that costs.
Well, I know a couple plastic surgeons that have all of Olympic. You go all the way down Olympic.
With billboards?
Every third billboard is theirs.
Really? Well, you know, maybe they got the idea from us in the desert. In the desert it works, but...
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think is the most important thing for patients that they want to look at and see before to find you, or to go to you?
Well, I think
aesthetics, not just you. You know, in general.
Well, I think we have found, you know, you can do all this elaborate stuff on your website with your great credentials and talk about how wonderful you are. I mean, sure, that's a given. You want that to be part of the overall package, but they want to see results.
Yeah,
they want to see before and afters. And I'm going to touch on that during my talk, that you want to bring them into the process. You want to make it personal. You want them to become part of your family, that
I agree.
that you and your staff care about them in their initial treatment, but then ongoing treatment.
Yeah, lifelong.
Form that partnership, and if you do a good job of that, that's going to translate to sending you more patients. And that's still, I think we all agree, is the single best way to enhance your practice, grow your practice, get more patients, is through happy patients and word of mouth.
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to get to, is that has never changed. The word of mouth, the local branding, the success through great before and afters has never changed, but now how people find those things and see those things has expanded dramatically.
Exactly, and some of these back in the day when I was competing with the big names in New York City, the Dan Bakers, Sherelle Astons, you know, we would never advertise, but of course they had huge PR things. They did it in a different way under the guide, oh no, it's not advertising. Well, they made sure that they did certain things to get their names out there, and you know, it just continues to change. Yeah,
so it's great. Well, it was wonderful having you here.
We're not done, are we?
That's how easy our talks are. We're just such good friends that it just flows.
It's always a pleasure.
I know. Is there any takeaways that people should take from you before going to see your morning session?
Well, it's just the meeting gets better and better each year. I'm excited to be here, excited to see colleagues, friends like yourself, and a lot to be learned here.
Great.
In the next few days.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. Feel very privileged and honored to know you. Great man.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Good luck today.